Girl, you need to be earning enough and then you do not need anything.
Parenting should always be mindful. It's all about how you want to treat it well, how you want to be treated after 30 or 40 years when you are old.
If they're very proudly saying, look, I am fine, it's okay to hit a child.
Perfection is an illusion. No one can be perfect.
Like, why don't you say something? He's being loud on you, he's hitting you in public. Like, at the age of 30 and 40, when you do not know how to handle your anger, a lot of celebrities are coming from Hollywood, Bollywood, everywhere. The influencers who are mentioning, like, girl, you need to be earning enough and then you do not need anything.
Yes,
So if a
exactly.
celebrity or somebody who's influencing the population is passing on such kind of statement, and obviously that makes a difference in everybody watching this. So I think we need to be talking more about it and we need to be responsible in whatever we are talking. Lately, I was watching a channel wherein a episode on parenting, wherein this very famous comedian mentions that I have been raised by a mother who used to thrash me with slippers and punches me in my face, and I'm absolutely fine. Look, I'm successful.
But yeah, the flying chapel.
Yeah, flying chappals. And then if they're very proudly saying, look, I am fine, it's okay to hit a child. And do you think raising children by fear or raising children by gentle parenting, and gentle parenting, I mean setting boundaries and being raising them with calm and patience, will raise the mindset of the children, or we will come across more kinder a population, more kinder, compassionate population, our generation globally. Do you think that raising by fear is fine, or do you think that gentle parenting must be followed? Now, as we are getting more into AI, starting with information from all over, what is your idea and opinion around it?
I suppose say that fear will breed fear, and that will with fear will breed
Yeah, as a
darkness, and then
psychologist, like, what's your idea? Like, raising a child by fear or raising a child through giving him choices or treating him equal from the age of the time he starts understanding, like age of 3 and 4. Like, as a psychologist, what do you think? How fear impacts the children in long run?
fear is never a solution. Punitive punishments or any kind of punishment is never a solution. Parenting should always be mindful, should always be insightful, should always be gentle, kind, and compassion. It's all about how you want to treat it well, how you want to be treated after 30 or 40 years when you are old. Yeah, because if you are actually growing up a child or teaching them fear, then when you're old, definitely they will use that fear on you as well. So that is unfortunately never a solution again. And I am not really against of an influencer, but there are a lot of things that I see on daily basis about hitting your children. And it's perfectly fine to hit your children or to punish your children and making the videos out of them or making fun of them. These things will only obviously integrate in the personality that'll create they create depression, anxiety, panic, attachment issues. Attachment issues is I believe one of the major factor.
Absolutely.
They'll have other personality issues like bipolar or even borderline when they feel that they have done something wrong and they will try to obviously punish themselves. And again, it's about the society, it's about the family, and fear will only breed these kind of things. It
Yeah.
has to be gentle, it has to be kind, it has to be compassionate, it has to be mindful of what we are doing.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I really agree. I always follow gentle parenting, and there are a
Mm,
lot of people judging it. I don't care even if they
mm,
are. Like, why don't you say something? He's been loud on you, he's hitting you in public, like from a younger one who's 5 and below. So I say, like, he at the age of 30 and 40, when you do not know how to handle your anger and emotion, and how are you expecting this 5 year old boy who doesn't even know what anger is, who
mm,
doesn't even know what emotion is? Like, he is regulating, and you need a parallel caregiver to regulate that emotion for him. That's a process. Like, you have to teach your child to be kinder, and then first you need to be kind to himself. Like, if you are being like suppressing him for everything. Like, you can't be angry, you can't be loud. And in supermarkets, when I see there are parents, not only mother, parents who get very embarrassed when their child is showing tantrums. It's okay. It's part of life. There are times when you also have outbursts, and when you also think nasty things which are not acceptable in society, and then they just want to control everything, like parenting by controlling, you know.
mm,
That's there, and I think we need to educate a lot of people around it, especially when both the parents have started working. And this needs the connection, the self connection, the child connection comes more into the picture. What is your idea around, like, if a person, a mother who is connected to self, who does self love, who
mm,
cares about her well being, and there is a mother who's trying to be perfect in all her ways, perfect boss in at workplace, perfect mother, perfect daughter in law, perfect sister, perfect daughter, but is playing on her well being. Like, what is your message to that perfect, trying to be perfect mother? Like, what is your one liner message or a detailed message to that mother who's always trying to be a perfect mother?
Perfection is an illusion. No
Yeah,
one can ever be perfect. And if you attain perfection, then it means you're done. There's nothing more. It is never a solution. The thing is that we as a society, you again have shared a perfect insight, and I'll say that we as a society has actually we have been taught since we're a child to suppress these emotions, or either to suppress, either to control, or either to eliminate, or either to obviously just try to punish it or finish it. We were never taught to understand aggression. Emotions are part of us.
yes,
Aggression, sadness, happiness, excitement, embarrassment, everything is a part of it. It is your body, it is your soul, it is your mind saying something, trying to convey something. And instead of understanding, we have been taught to suppress it or either punish it, either control it, just make sure that it doesn't happen. But
again.
that's not
But how?
exactly. But that is not the solution. And yeah, even in our even in our life, even in our profession, I believe majority of the people I've met, they don't even know what they're going through. They don't even know their emotions and how to regulate them. Then how would obviously they will help the next generation. So it's very important to understand these things, and no one can ever be perfect. But again, this is actually a social construct that have actually installed the personality since they were child. That when you grow up, you have to be this perfect bahu, you have to be a perfect bride, you have to be a perfect wife. But I don't think that we have enforced enough to have this idea that you have to be a happy child, you have to be a happy adult, you have to be a peaceful adult, you have to be a content adult, you have to be a satisfied adult. I
I
don't think that anyone would remember that
agree
from
with
their
you.
childhood.
I think post COVID, when
Hmm,
a lot of people suffered from well-being concerns, including
hmm,
children, especially to my knowledge, a lot of children suffered speech delays, ADHD, and
hmm.
other kind of
Yes, yes.
conditions. Now, celebrities and other popular faces have started talking about that they are experiencing bipolar. I know a
Hmm,
lot of Bollywood celebrities talking about ADHD, bipolar, depression. And I've also seen memes around it, like still people making fun of that, like she's doing drama for all this publicity, and she's just yeah, grabbing attention and all that. But it's time
hmm.
that most of the people should be talking about it, and they should be sharing their journey. It should not be treated as a taboo anymore. Like, if your leg is broken, you have to go to a doctor to get it fixed. So if your
Yeah.
emotions are broken or your well-being is broken, you have to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, right? That doesn't mean that you are mentally discharged or you have lost your everything. And it can be, do you think, as a
Hmm,
clinical psychologist, I would like to question you that, like, do you think, like, childhood development below
hmm,
10 years, uh, because childhood traumas are is a new term, is a popular term, not new term. It's a very popular
hmm.
term nowadays we come across. And people now are have talking about, yes, when I was child, I was hidden a lot, even though I was grabbing 90% or A grade or A plus plus, but when they grow up, their well-being is really disturbed.
When I work with any deep-rooted issue, not a surface level, we have two kind of mental health problems. Being a psychologist, counselor, coach, or anyone, right? So we receive two kind of presentations. First is surface level, that is going with the surface, and work is deep-rooted. In
Yes.
deep-rooted issues that I have experienced since 2017 and even before that, majority of the patients have ACEs, but it's called adverse childhood experiences. Majority of the cases, there's always something in my childhood. And even my students, I used to teach engineering at university as well, and now I'm a lead as well. So the first question I asked for honest off case, it was like, did you explore childhood? Go into childhood. There must be something,
Yeah.
even as simple as neglect.
Yes.
That's it. Where the child is getting everything: iPad, phone, best food, best chocolates, best school,
Yes.
best education, best clothes, best gadgets. But if the child is not getting that attention, love, compassion, that child will have future problems, and when they grow adult, when they become teenager. So it's very important to understand. Yeah, COVID is because even I noticed that in my own nephew, because their development was actually stopped because of COVID and quarantine.
2 years.
And
Yeah.
instead of just trying to understand it, we label it a child as being naughty, your child is not
Hyper.
listening, or
Hyper.
exactly, and you just hit him or just punish him or take his iPad or don't give him food or this or that. But these things doesn't work. We have professionals. It doesn't mean that we don't have it. We have professionals everywhere: mental health professionals, psychologists, counselors, coach. You can reach out to anyone. So one of the most important thing is to please reach out to anyone who is listening and
Call
going through
for help.
anything.
Yes.
Please reach out.
Ab-
There are many individuals. There are many individuals who are there. But how would they help? How would you know if you're not reaching out? You
yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah.
You
They do.
deserve it. You,
Absolutely. Mubarak, I'm really getting overwhelmed with all the information that you're sharing, because when it comes to, especially to comes to children, I experience cases wherein a child is hyper and
mm,
attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and
mm,
still which is called ADHD for my viewers, is
mm,
ADHD,
mm,
which is wherein the child doesn't sit at one place, or is very very talkative, or is being moving around and has name calling issues. Name calling as in you've been calling some name like Reena, 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 but Reena is not listening and is just
mm,
focused on something else. So for that, the Indian term, or something that I've heard very very popular, ki ho jayega. His dad was also like that. His
mm.
mother was also like that. But ye ho jayega karte karte, we pass on so much of time that it becomes incurable. It
Yeah.
becomes really tough, because you can reverse certain things when they are at a very beginning level. When they become complex, 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 and you do not know that you have to stop the sugar because of the sugar rush, you have to set routines because the child needs proper, and you have to stop screen time and all that, and you have to go for occupational therapies and all that. So through
Mm,
this videos, I think we will be spreading more awareness around. Like if you see certain signs in a child above 2 years, I think, yeah, the delays in milestones are very much visible at 2 years and more, because the child
mm,
is not talking properly, has a speech delay, or has a eye contact issue. I think it's very very powerful and informative that yes, attention needs to be there. My own friend's son, so he has speech delay. So her mother used to tell her, like, your brother also started speaking at the age of 6.
mm,
Like that, see, pushing, 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 and now the child talking has become so complex that now you have to take him to therapy, a speech specialist or
mm.
something. But at a very beginning level, if you fix it, then it's much faster. Look, I feel the children suffer because of the lack of awareness to the parents, and the taboo that we create around the, and we stigmatize them, like we give them a stigma, like he's going through something about the mental thing. Hello, parents. If you find our podcast relatable, educational, then do subscribe to our channel. In the comment box, write your parenting challenges. We'll try to address them one by one. And never forget to share it with amazing parents like you. Because remember, by learning together, we can raise kind, confident, and connected children for happy families and happy nations.